Hi everyone. For approximately 20 years I worked right next door to the old Kingston Psychiatric Hospital, more recently known as Providence Care Hospital, the older Providence Care Hospital that has since been replaced with a newer one. Anyhow, during that time I became very familiar with that old hospital, and when I learned that they were going to tear it down and replace it, I thought it would be prudent for me to get out there and get a photographic documentation of the old building. After 20 years of seeing that building every day, I just thought it would be worth getting a photographic record so people in the future would be able to see what it actually looked like, because I wasn't sure if anyone else was doing that. So what follows is that little photographic record of the old Kingston Psychiatric Hospital. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you. So I believe it was on November 6th, 2012, when I went out late in the afternoon from work one day with the camera to take this photographic record of the old Kingston Psychiatric Hospital. As I mentioned, I thought it would be important to document it, at least in some fashion. These aren't high quality architectural photos by any means, but at least they give a record of what it was like. And I've tried to go around all sides of the building to do that. Here's one of the original pagodas that came with the site, and that pagoda still exists at the new hospital, just out behind the new hospital. You can see it refurbished today. This is the main south entrance that used to be the main entranceway for all the people visiting the hospital. This is the south parking lot. As I mentioned, I used to work right beside this building in another government building, basically. And I came to know this building mainly from walking around it and jogging around it almost on a daily basis some weeks, mainly in the winter. When the lakeside trail froze up with snow, I would run around the loop roads that went around this building. It was good for that, so I would come out and run maybe 3 laps around the building because it's quite a large building. I believe this building was built in the late 50s and then started to demolish it in 2013, I believe, and then it was finished in 2017. Has beautiful grounds associated with it. For many years they had a really good lunch deal in their cafeteria, and so sometimes when I failed to bring a lunch, or if I just forgot a lunch or whatever, or sometimes a bunch of us would go over here from our work location, also at Christmas time they typically had their special lunch Christmas dinner event, and that was open to outsiders as well. So for a number of years, probably 4 or 5 years, I managed to attend that Christmas luncheon, and it was really well done. They had all the food you could think of, the desserts and the main key course. It was really well done. For a small donation, you could have that luncheon event, so that was really good. Being built in the late 50s, the building has a fairly austere look about it. I wouldn't say it's an overly attractive building per se, but it had an earthy quality about it, I guess you'd say. A fairly simple design that actually grew on you over time. And it was quite attractive inside, the portions I saw. Now I only saw a very few hallways and then the lunch room and cafeteria, I guess. That's about it, but it was always neatly kept from what I could see, and the halls were brightly lit. So yeah, I don't know how many times I ran around this building in the winter. Hundreds, I guess. This is the West End Annex. I was basically just walking around the whole building trying to get pictures from every angle. This now is looking from the northwest, coming along the north side from the west. Had some nice trees and landscaping around it. I think most of those are gone. They may have saved a few of the larger trees. But as is often the case with development, things like natural features get lost. I love the way the shadows came across the grass on this late afternoon. Made the area look very pretty. In a lot of ways, the building still had a youthful appearance to it, with the sun and the shadows. Yeah, I used to know every crack in the asphalt along here when I was running. It's amazing how you get to know a place. It's like an old baseball screen there. They must have played baseball at one time. As far as I know, there were various patients here, ranging from those that were solidly held inside or restricted to enclosures outside for their outdoor hours, and as well patients that could wander freely. And I remember often seeing patients out walking on the grounds, and they were always fine. For whenever I went by them, there was never an issue, or that they were always just sort of in their own world, it seemed, wandering around. Also enjoying the grounds, I assume. Gonna finish up with some air photos showing the sequence of events from 2013 prior to the destruction. This is Google Earth imagery. So here's 2013 showing the old hospital and its grounds. Then we go to 2015 and the earth moving has begun. The old hospital's still there, the new one isn't there yet. And 2016, now the new hospital's taking shape on the southwest corner, and you can still see portions of the old hospital. And then by 2019, the new hospital's taken over and the old hospital has left just a few scars on the ground.